Okay, we're up with the chickens today, so that can only mean one thing. It's brisket day. I'm Scott Moody, and this is Brisket on the PK360. Bronson, you got, let's see, thank you. Matt Jones on YouTube asked for a full Packer brisket on the PK360. DJ Dave Diggs, also on YouTube, wants to know how to maintain a steady temp for a long time, so we're going to have to do that today. At BradyXE on Instagram would love to see a video on cooking large cuts of meat for long periods of time, such as a brisket, Bronson. The next piece of business to address is we have a winner of those tongs. At Jova_R805. DM us because you won those tongs. Congrats. We need to prep this brisket. Let me just get it out of the fridge. And funny story about this brisket. I went to the grocery store to pick this up, and this was the only one that they had. And it might be the world's ugliest brisket. A lot of times grocery stores don't keep a lot of these briskets in stock, especially in this part of the world, and you don't always get to choose. So we are going to make this ugly brisket work. This is what people call a Packer cut brisket. It's got this flat part, and it's got this part, it's called the point. This one literally has a point. Okay, let's open it up. You're gonna need a pretty good sized cutting board for this. If it's not already obvious. In a PK grill, which is a small home grill, you know, you're kind of close to the heat. So I leave a little bit more fat on here than a lot of people would, but I still try to take it down, you know, in a way so that we end up with little more than 1/4 of an inch or so of fat to protect the meat. And also, like I said, this guy is just stinky with fat. Okay, so I think we're in pretty decent shape here. We've left a nice layer of fat. Now I'm just gonna season it up. So I'm gonna use this Fire and Smoke Society Thundering Longhorn beef rub. Just get a nice even coat. Watch out if you got any knife scores or whatever, so you don't accidentally fill those with spice. Bronson, that's kind of what we want her to look like. I'm gonna wrap that up, stick it in the fridge. So let's have a quick look at how I've got my grill set up. I've got a chimney roll in here, but what I want you to see is what's going on down in the grill here. Oh, look at that, look who came to see us. Got a piece of fresh wood in there. So what I've done is I put some fresh charcoal on the sides here and a piece of smoking wood right here. I'm gonna dump my hot charcoal in the middle here, and this is not a full chimney. This is about a half a chimney of charcoal. So I'm gonna put the hot charcoal in the middle here. These unlit coals are gonna light over time, and that's just gonna give us a longer period between when I dump these first coals and when I have to refuel. Cooking a brisket is a long cook, and we're gonna have to refuel. So managing the fuel is you know, part of the fun. In terms of the top vents, I've got the one on the left side where my meat's gonna be open. I've got the one on the right side where my fuel is closed. And then it's the opposite on these guys down below. The one on the left side is closed. The one on the right side under the fuel is open. So we're feeding oxygen to the fuel, and then we're exhausting the smoke kind of over and above the meat. I'm just gonna kind of let this whole capsule come up to temp a little bit, and then we'll put the brisket on. So here's our brisket. We prepped this the other night, and I took it out of the fridge about a half hour ago. Just kind of let it come up in temp a little bit. It's not room temperature because this is a huge cut of meat. Okay, so I got the brisket out here, and the grill is where I want it. It's actually hotter than the temperature that we're going to cook at. When I put this meat into the grill, the temperature inside the grill is going to come way down as soon as I put the meat in there. So I like to get, you can do this with tin foil. I have a little kind of half sheet pan here that I use as a heat shield when I first put the meat in. So I'm gonna put this big fat part with all the kind of the fat that we trimmed side down. I'm gonna put it on this side of the grill. This, by the way, this is an 11-pound brisket after we trimmed it. We'll start the clock, close the lid, and we're off. We're about 3 hours into this cook and the temp gauge just dipped below 225 degrees, so I'm gonna open it up and refuel. We are about a little more than 7 hours into this cook. The brisket's sitting at 187 degrees, so we're on the other side of that stall you may have heard or read about. The grill is sitting at 240 degrees or so. I am going to wrap this guy. I'm just going to drop some coals along this ridge here. When I put new coals on the grill, a lot of times I'll open the vent over the coals for a few minutes and just let the coals catch, let all that dirty smoke get out while they're initially getting lit, and then I'll close it off and we'll go back to our diagonal draft we talked about at the beginning. Okay. Moment of truth, the brisket is at 210 degrees. That is not a magic number. We cooked for about 9 hours and 23 minutes. When you pick it up off the grill, it should feel kind of loose, kind of jiggly. Okay, I really can't wait to see what's in here. Just to recap, we've got our flat here. And we've got our point here. This is kind of the fatty part. So that looks like a pretty perfect piece of brisket. We let it hang like that and it doesn't fall apart, but then we just give it a little pull. That is super good. Bronson, get into that. There's that decal. Let's see how we did. Oh my goodness. Thanks for watching this brisket video. Leave us your comments. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, and most importantly, let us know what you want us to cook next.